Hello, welcome to Promiseland, yeah! Whoa, I'm on TV, this is great, I'm loving this and... Oh, here he comes, quick!
Oh, hello, sorry to keep you waiting, I didn't realise we'd started. Welcome to Promiseland, nice to see you all, I hope you're all well. We've got another chance now to have some fun together and to sing and to praise Jesus and to learn about him, to hear Bible stories and all sorts. So get yourself ready and we're going to sing a song to begin with. This song is called Good in Every Way. It's a chance for us to express that our God is great. He is mighty, he is strong, he is powerful and he's worthy of our praise. So let's stand up together and sing this song right now.
Come on now, join with me, everybody sing. I'm gonna lift my voice to glorify my King. He is a mighty God and worthy of our praise. We give him everything, he's good in every way. Come on now, join with me, everybody sing. I'm gonna lift my voice to glorify my King. He is a mighty God and worthy of our praise. We give him everything, he's good in every way.
He is always there for us.
He's good in every way.
Pouring out his awesome love.
He's good in every way.
He fills us up with peace and joy.
He's good in every way.
He gives us all we need and more.
He's good in every way.
Come on now, join,
Come on now, join with me, everybody sing. I'm gonna lift my voice to glorify my King. He is a mighty God and worthy of our praise. We give him everything, he's good in every way.
He is always there for us.
He's good in every way.
Pouring out his awesome love.
He's good in every way.
He fills us up with peace and joy.
He's good in every way.
He gives us all we need and more.
He's good in every way.
Come on now, join with
Come
me.
on now, join with me, everybody sing. I'm gonna lift my voice to glorify my King. He is a mighty God and worthy of our praise. We give him everything, he's good in every way. Come on now, join with me, everybody sing.
Everybody sing.
I'm gonna lift my voice to glorify my King. He is a mighty God and worthy of our praise. We give him everything, he's good in every way. He's good in every way. He's good in every way.
Amen. He is good in every way. Well, last week we began a story looking at the life of Joseph from this book, as you all know, is called the Bible. That's right, or as we like to call it, God's big story. And we learnt from this story last week, which is in the book of Genesis, right near the beginning of the Bible, chapter 37, we heard about how Joseph had some dreams, and they were quite unusual dreams. Do you remember what those dreams were? Well, if not, don't worry, because here is a reminder.
One night he dreamed that he and his brothers were working in the field collecting wheat, when all of a sudden, Joseph's bundle of wheat stood up tall, and the bundles that his brothers were collecting all bowed down to it.
Whoa, I mean, that's a pretty weird dream.
Another time, Joseph dreamed that the sun, the moon, and 11 stars all bowed down to him.
I'm sensing a theme here. Something about things bowing down to Joseph. But what could it mean?
Well, here's the deal. These dreams weren't just random. They actually meant something, and they came from God. God gave Joseph those dreams to tell him something, to show him that he had big plans for his life.
So, although these dreams may have seemed strange at the time, they were in fact dreams from God who had big plans for Joseph's life. And do you know what? The Bible teaches us that God not only spoke to people in the past, like he spoke to Joseph, but that God still speaks to his people today. Jesus said these words in the book of John, chapter 10, and verse 27. He said, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." Now, if we have chosen to believe in God and to follow him, there is a promise that we will hear his voice. And the more that we hear his voice, the more that we will want to follow his voice and follow him, our good and loving shepherd. But the question is, how do we hear God? Well, sometimes you might see your parents looking at their phone, and sometimes they're looking at it and they're smiling. Oh. And sometimes they're looking at their phone and they're frowning. Now, the reason why is because somebody has sent them a message that they are reading. Now, they're hearing that person's voice, but not in the way that you're hearing my voice now. They're hearing their voice through the words of a message. And that message is either something that could be good news that makes them want to smile, or bad news that makes them want to frown. You see? Now, God's big story, the Bible, this is God's message to us. And the words in it are him speaking to us. So sometimes we can read the Bible and we can frown because we might be reading something sad, like we have all done things wrong. We have sinned, which separates us from God. But then we might smile because we read the good news that Jesus, he died for all the wrong things we have done wrong so that we can be reconciled to God, brought back together with him once again. So this is one way that we hear God, through his message, through the Bible. And do you know what I like? When I read the Bible and I read a story like the story we've been hearing about Joseph, and it reminds me of another story in the Bible, like the story of a young boy called Samuel, who also hears the voice of God at a very young age. It's a great story. Would you like to hear it? I'm sure you would. It's brilliant. It's from the book of 1 Samuel and chapter 3. Let's watch this story now.
Stories of the Bible. God speaks to Samuel. This is Samuel.
Hi!
Samuel was the son of Hannah.
Hey, Samuel!
Hannah prayed for God to give her a son, and God did. So Hannah gave Samuel back to God.
See you, Samuel. Bye, Mom.
And Samuel grew up in the temple serving under Eli, the priest.
Hi, Eli.
As Samuel grew up, he learned how to serve God from Eli. Samuel lived in the house of God, but he did not know God or what God's voice sounded like. In those days, messages from God were rare. But one night after Eli had gone to bed, Samuel was sleeping in the tabernacle when suddenly God called out, "Samuel!"
Huh?
Samuel got up and ran to Eli and said, "Did you call me?"
Me?
Eli said, "I didn't call you. Go back to bed." So Samuel did. Then God called out again, "Samuel!"
Huh?
And again Samuel got up and ran to Eli asking, "Did you call me?"
Me?
Eli said, "I didn't call you. Go back to bed." So Samuel did. God called Samuel for a third time, "Samuel!"
Huh?
And Samuel went to Eli yet again. After 3 times, Eli realized that God was trying to speak to Samuel. So Eli taught Samuel to say, "Speak, Lord, your servant is listening."
Okay.
Samuel went back to bed, and God came and called as before, "Samuel, Samuel!" And Samuel said, "Speak, your servant is listening." God told him many things about what would happen to Israel. As Samuel grew up, God was with him, and everything God spoke through Samuel came true. Samuel was seen as a great prophet of God because he could hear the voice of God, and he listened when God spoke to him.
Well, as you saw there, Samuel was just a young boy when God spoke to him. And it's great, isn't it? Because God can speak to us. He can speak to you no matter what your age is. You don't have to wait till you're grown up. God can speak to you right now. I wonder what God might be saying to you now. Maybe we could try something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up a verse. The verse that we looked at earlier. Here it is. It's John chapter 10, verse 27. The verse that says, "My sheep hear my voice. I know them and they follow me." Now I'm just going to leave that up on the screen just for a few moments, and I'm going to let you think about the words of that. Maybe you want to get your parents or brother or sister to read it to you again. And I want you to just spend a moment to think, what is God saying to me through that verse? What does that mean for me? So take a moment to think about that. And then when you've thought about something, maybe you want to share it with your mum or your dad or your brother or sister, or write it down. So just take a few moments now and let's do that. Okay, we're going to come back together now. I wonder, did any of you feel like God said something to you through that verse, or reminded you of something about Him, or something He wants to say to you? If so, great. If not, also great. Great for trying. Because do you know what? Sometimes it can take a while for us to feel like we can hear what God is saying, and it takes a bit of practice, and we can try it again, and that's okay. So don't worry if you didn't feel like you heard anything just then. And sometimes what we need to do is learn to get rid of all the background noises and distractions that can sometimes get in the way of us. Just like that one. All right, well, you know what time it is. It's time for a game. So let's go over to Sandra now to see what our game is for today.
Hi everyone, good to see you all. Are you ready for today's game? Your challenge is to guess what I'm saying. Sounds simple enough, doesn't it? But here's the twist. As I'm saying these things, loud music is going to be playing at the same time, so you won't actually be able to hear what I'm saying. That way, you have to read my lips really carefully to try and guess what I'm saying. Do you think you can handle that? We'll soon find out. So grab your paper and pens, or just call out the answer if you think you know it. Here comes your first word.
Yeah, God's power. So come on.
Okay, do you think you got that one? What did I say? I said yellow. Well done if you managed to get that. Really good. Okay, here comes the second one.
Around and move to the right.
1, 2, 3.
Now take tiny little jumps forward to the front.
Loving this music. Okay, so who thinks they could guess what I was saying there? What did I say? I said peanut butter sandwiches. Great, well done if you managed to get that. I really like peanut butter sandwiches. Who else likes peanut butter sandwiches? Great, okay, here comes the next word.
In the air right now. It's all around, I see it everywhere. It's the power, yeah.
Okay, you think you got it? Here's a clue. Something we say in Promiseland with actions. What did I say? I said God's big story. Well done if you managed to get that. Some of these are quite tricky, I know, so well done. Okay, here comes the next one.
God is here and he is real. Take 4 steps to the left, to the left.
So, who thinks they managed to guess what I said then? What did I say? I said Brazil. Well done if you managed to get that one. Okay, here's the next one.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 jumps back, but you better look back.
Do you think you got that one? Go on, what did I say? I said elephant. Well done if you managed to get that one. Okay, just got a few more to go. Here comes the next one.
Now take tiny little jumps forward to the front. 1, 2, 3.
You think you got that? Here's a clue. It's something we like to eat on a really hot summer's day. What do you think I said? That's right. I said ice cream. Well done if you managed to get that one. Okay, just 2 more to go. Here is the next one. Okay, who thinks they got that? What did I say? I said pillow. Well done if you managed to get that one. Okay, here comes the final word.
This life can be kinda crazy.
Great music, right? Okay, who thinks they know what I said? What did I say? I said blue. Well done if you guessed that one correctly. That's the end of our game, guys. Tell me, how many did you get right? Did you find that tricky? I think that was a little bit tricky, wasn't it? Okay, that's the end of our game. I hope you really enjoyed it. Take care and I'll see you all soon. Bye.
Wow, great game, Sandra. That was fun, but tricky, hey? It's hard, isn't it, to sometimes understand what someone is saying if there's loads of noise going on at the same time. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier. Sometimes we have these distractions or noises going on in our minds or in our lives. And sometimes we need to try and learn to, how can we get rid of those so we can really hear God? Now we've got a craft now, and we're going to find out about what we can make that is going to help remind us of how we can ask God to speak to us and how we can remember to try and listen to Him. So let's find out what our craft is for this week.
Hello everybody, we're going to make a Merry verse game. First, take a piece of paper, then find something to draw around. I chose 2 square blocks. Next, write the Merry verse inside the lines. Our Merry verse today is, Speak Lord, your servant is listening. And that's from 1 Samuel 3 verse 10. Once you have written your verse, cut out around the edge of your line. Remember to be careful using your scissors. Next, take some cardboard. I've used the back of an old cereal box. Now turn your paper over and put some glue on it. And then turn it back over and stick it on your cardboard. Now cut out your cardboard and leave a small edge around the piece of your paper. There you have it, your Merry Verse telephone. Here you go.
Oh, thanks, Esme. What a great craft that is you made, and a great one for us all to make, a great reminder that God speaks to us. God, speak, for your servant is listening. Just like a phone, God can send us messages or speak to us through the message He's already written in the Bible. Now, if any of you end up making a craft like this, we'd love to see it. So do send it in. Get your parents to take a photo and email it to us at promiseland@communitychurchputney.com, and we can maybe see some of those next week. And in fact, we have some great crafts that we received from last week. So let's have a look at some of those now. Here's our first one. This picture is from Lucy, and I was so impressed with how quickly this picture was sent in last Sunday. You got on with it straight away, and I love the colours that you used and the size that you used. That's quite a nice big bit of cardboard or paper that you used there. And I like the way that this picture makes it look like you're almost wearing it. So great job, Lucy. And now here is our next picture. This one is of Thea and her rabbit of many colours. I love the way you've picked your rabbit to dress up in a snug and colourful looking robe. That's great. And here is a collage from Imi. What a great and inventive piece of artwork you've done there. I love your clever use of different types of paper to create many different colours, like Joseph's robe of many colours. And it looks like, also here, looks like you found the perfect jumper to dress yourself up in to look like Joseph in his robe. And a very happy looking Joseph too, I might add. Well, wonderful crafts everyone, and thank you for sending them in. Now we've been hearing this morning about the fact that God can speak to us and we can hear him. This is one of many reasons we can be thankful to God, and that is the title of our final song, Thankful. So we're going to sing together now. So if you want, you might want to stand up on your feet if you're not doing so already, and use your bodies and your voices to praise him as we sing Thankful.
I like to think about the goodness of the Lord. He gives me everything I need and so much more. So I just want to lift my hands and say that I love him. I just want to lift my heart in praise. And I want to be thankful. I want to be grateful. I want to remember everything that the Lord has done. I want to be thankful. I want to be grateful. I want to be I like to think about the goodness of the Lord. He gives me everything I need and so much more. So I just want to lift my hands and say that I love him. I just want to lift my heart in praise. And I want to be thankful. I want to be grateful. I want to remember everything that the Lord has done. I want to be thankful. I want to be grateful. I want to be thankful. I want to be grateful. I want to remember everything that the Lord has done. I want to be thankful. I want to be grateful. I want to be
Well, thanks everyone for joining us for another Promiseland. We look forward to seeing you again next Sunday. And in the meantime, have a wonderful, wonderful week and keep listening for God.